Welcome back. When I made my first two videos on FPV drones, I recommended buying an analog ready-to-fly kit to practice with it first, then investing in the digital FPV. But I just got DJI Avata and I'm changing my mind. This video is for you if you're interested in getting an FPV drone. First, some basics and terminology. Camera drones like DJI Air and Mavic series fly smoothly like a commercial jetliner. Self-leveling and collision avoidance are usually enabled. FPV stands for first-person view, and that means the pilot wears the goggles to see the image from the drone in real time. FPV drones are usually flown in acro mode. They can climb, dive, and flip like a fighter jet. That means FPV drones are much more likely to crash than camera drones. There are two ways to get a FPV drone. One way is to get a pre-assembled drone from one of the hobby drone companies or get individual parts like frame, motors, and flight controller and put together a drone yourself. It's similar to how you can buy the parts to put together a PC. When you crash and something breaks, you can usually repair the drone yourself. In contrast, buying a drone from DJI is like buying a laptop from Lenovo, HP, Dell, or Apple. It comes in a nice enclosed body and most people won't try to repair it themselves. VTX means video transmission from the drone. The digital VTX looks much higher quality than analog. There are a few digital protocols, but OcuSync from DJI is popular. DJI started providing the digital system for hobby drones even before they came up with their own FPV drones. Their onboard module is called Air Unit. It can handle both receiving the signal from the remote controller and transmitting video to the goggles. A third party named Caddx also came up with the compatible models such as Caddx Vista. DJI Air Unit records video to microSD card, but Caddx Vista doesn't. After I bought my first digital FPV drone in 2021, Air Unit almost vanished from the market and drones in general became more expensive, maybe because of supply shortage. But now in 2023, things are getting better. DJI came up with OcuSync 3 or O3 protocol. The drones with O3 Air Unit starts under $400. The new goggles and controller are much slimmer and less expensive than previous models. DJI released its second FPV drone named Avata in August 2022. Most importantly, if you upgrade the firmware, the goggles, controller, drones with O3 or previous Air Unit, Caddx Vista, and Avata can all work with each other. More good news. DJI Remote Controller 2 can be connected to PC or Mac, so you can play drone simulators with the same controller as flying your drone. Also, DJI's own Virtual Flight app allows you to play flight simulator on the smartphone screen or even inside the goggles. So, if you are going with the DJI digital protocol, Goggles Integra and Remote Controller 2 seem like a safe choice. How about the drone itself? You can get a tiny hobby drone with O3 Air Unit at $369 at the moment, and they can record 4K 120 frames per second video. A medium-sized drone with O3 Air Unit is around $550. DJI Avata is $629 and it's definitely more expensive, but there are several advantages over hobby FPV drones. Number 1. Emergency brake. When flying a hobby FPV drones in acro or manual mode, if you take your hands off your controller or eyes off your goggles, the drone can hit something or lose altitude and crash within seconds. Avata has emergency brake. With a push of a button, it comes to a complete stop and keeps hovering at the same position. Number 2. Long battery life. Crashing and running out of battery are the top reasons for losing an FPV drone. Hobby drones typically uses a $10 to $20 LiPo battery and flies for 5 to 10 minutes. The battery of Avata lasts for 18 minutes. Of course, it comes with the price of whopping $129 for each extra battery, but the first battery is included in Avata's price. Number 3. Turtle mode. Let's say you crashed your drone at a location you cannot get to. The drone didn't break, but it ended up being upside down. Turtle mode allows you to spin the propellers and flip the drone right side up. You can enable turtle mode in advance with most FPV drones, but you have to jiggle the joysticks manually to flip back the drone. Avata's turtle mode is automated as just a button push. Number 4. GPS. Avata has GPS and it shows a home position as H in the goggles. Flying around in the forest, for instance, really makes you lose the sense of direction. The H marker is a great help. The DJI app on the phone can display the flight path and last known location of the drone. Number 5. Geozone Restrictions. If you completely ignore the FAA rules and fly a drone near an airport or over the stadium, you could be fined or even get arrested. DJI drones are aware of the Geozone map and they won't let you fly in a restricted zone. Many DJI drones are also ready for the new FAA rules called Remote ID that will require drones to broadcast identification. That's good news. The bad news is many areas of the Bay Area, for instance, are restricted. Getting a temporary permit is cumbersome, and even if you do it, you cannot fly in manual mode. If you are only planning to fly low in your backyard, I'd rather recommend getting a small hobby drone. Number 6. Warranty. Getting DJI Care Refresh will add another $79 or $129 to your drone budget, but I think it's worth it. I happen to know the service is good because I crashed and damaged the drone 9 days after my first flight. It's a long story. The drone came back in 18 days, repaired with no charge. Number 7. Flight simulators. As mentioned earlier, with Remote Controller 2, you can play desktop drone simulators such as Velocidrone, Liftoff, DRL, Uncrashed, and FPV Freerider. With DJI's Virtual Flight app on the smartphone, you can practice flying Avata using the goggles with the same switch control as the real one. These are the reasons I think Avata is safe enough for FPV beginners. But that's assuming you are cautious enough. If you go flying in manual mode before practicing with simulators, and if you lose a drone without warranty, please don't blame me. Finally, I like DJI products for their quality and design, but I think their naming is terrible. Thank you for watching. I greatly appreciate the 1,000 viewers who subscribe to my channel. If you like the video, please join them by clicking on like and subscribe. Thank you very much.